Hey everyone, I'm Sarah. I'm 32, crushing it as a marketing executive, living what seemed like the perfect life with my husband, Mike, a successful lawyer. We had a beautiful house in the suburbs, spent weekends brunching with friends, the whole package. Then Mike's sister, Amanda, lost her job and needed a place to stay. I wasn't thrilled, but hey, family's family, right? Big mistake. At first, it was small things. My favorite sweater would disappear, only to magically reappear in Amanda's laundry. Oh, I thought it was mine, she'd say with that fake laugh that set my nerves on edge. Then, one night as Mike and I were getting ready for a date, I noticed my go-to lipstick was missing. I stormed into Amanda's room, and there she was, wearing it. What the hell, Amanda? I snapped. She had the audacity to look offended. Calm down, Sarah. It's just lipstick. We're sisters now, remember? I looked to Mike for backup, but he just sighed. Babe, don't make a big deal out of nothing. Amanda's going through a tough time. That's when I knew something was really off. But it got worse. I started noticing cash disappearing, minus $20 here, $50 there. When I brought it up to Mike, he barely looked up from his phone. Maybe you just forgot you spent it or miscounted. I couldn't believe it. My own husband was gaslighting me. Things escalated when I checked my desk drawer and realized $500 from my emergency stash was gone. I confronted Amanda in the kitchen. Have you been taking money from my desk? I asked. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Are you seriously accusing me of stealing after all your family's done for me? Before I could reply, Mike walked in just as Amanda burst into tears. Sarah thinks I'm a thief. How could she say that? And just like that, I was the bad guy. Mike wrapped his arm around Amanda, glaring at me. Jesus, Sarah, what's wrong with you? Amanda would never do that. That night, lying in bed next to a husband who felt like a stranger, I knew I had to take matters into my own hands. If no one else believed me, I'd have to get proof myself. Little did I know, what I uncovered would turn my entire life upside down in ways I never imagined. So stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. After that confrontation, I was done feeling crazy and powerless in my own home. It was time to catch Amanda in the act. I went to an office supply store and bought some invisible ink. Back home, I marked a few $20s and $50s with it. No one could tell the difference, but under UV light, they'd reveal the truth. I carefully placed the marked bills in my desk drawer, counting them exactly. Then, I set up a tiny hidden camera inside a picture frame on my bookshelf, with a perfect view of the desk. At dinner that night, the tension was thick. Amanda was going on about some new guy she'd met, and Mike was hanging on her every word. I quietly pushed my food around, trying to keep my cool. You okay, babe? Mike finally asked, noticing my silence. Just tired from work, I lied. Amanda smirked. Maybe you should take a vacation. All that stress isn't good for your skin. I bit my tongue so hard I could taste blood. The next few days were agony. Every time I came home, I'd rush to check the camera and count the money. Nothing. Until day 4. Bingo. I watched the footage, my heart pounding. There she was, Amanda, bold as ever, rummaging through my drawer. She pocketed $20s and had the nerve to fix her hair in my mirror before leaving. I was shaking with anger, but I knew I had to play this smart. Later that day, I found Amanda in the kitchen. Hey, can we talk? I kept my voice calm. She turned with an innocent smile. Sure, what's up? I know you've been taking money from my desk, I said, my tone flat. Her eyes widened, then narrowed. Excuse me? Are you on something? Cut the act, Amanda. I have proof, I said, keeping my composure. If you come clean now and pay me back, we can handle this quietly. Otherwise what? She sneered. You'll tell Mike? Good luck with that. He'd never believe you over his baby sister. I stepped closer. You sure about that? Because I've got you on camera. For a second, fear flickered in her eyes before she forced a laugh. Nice try, Sarah. You're bluffing. Am I? You willing to bet your relationship with Mike on that? She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. I leaned against the counter, my heart racing. I'd given her a chance to come clean and make things right, but she chose to double down on her lies. Fine. If that's how she wanted to play it, I was done being nice. The annual family barbecue was coming up this weekend. Mike's parents, cousins, and even our nosy neighbors would be there. I smiled to myself, imagining the scene that was about to unfold. Amanda thought she was so clever, but she had no idea what was coming. By the end of Sunday night, everyone would know the truth about her. When the day finally arrived, I was a bundle of nerves, having rehearsed what I was going to say over and over in my head. As guests started arriving, I put on a fake smile and played the perfect hostess. Amanda was in her element, floating around, laughing a little too loudly at everyone's jokes. I caught her eyeing me a few times, probably wondering if I'd actually follow through on my threat. Once everyone had arrived and the food was served, I knew it was time. I clinked my glass to get everyone's attention. "Hey, everyone," I began, trying to keep my voice steady. "I've got a little presentation I'd like to share." Mike frowned. "Babe, what are you doing?" I ignored him and connected my laptop to the TV. "I've noticed some money going missing lately, and I think we all deserve to know the truth." The room fell silent as I pressed play. In crystal clear HD, Amanda appeared on screen, sneaking into my office and pocketing cash. Gasps echoed through the room. Amanda went pale. "That's not what it looks like," she stammered. But I wasn't done. I pulled out a UV light and walked over to her purse. "Mind if I check something?" Before she could object, I dumped the contents onto the table, bills scattered everywhere. I shone the light on them, revealing the invisible ink marks. "Funny how all this marked money from my desk ended up in your purse, huh, Amanda?" The room erupted. Mike's mom started crying, his dad was shouting, and our neighbors were whispering furiously. Amanda crumbled, sobbing. "I'm sorry. I have a gambling problem. I needed the money for debts." I turned to Mike, expecting him to finally see the truth. But his face was twisted in rage at me. "How dare you?" he hissed. "You set up my sister and humiliated her in front of everyone." I blinked, stunned. "Are you kidding me? She's been stealing from us for months." "Get out. Now." "What? This is my house too." "Not anymore. I want a divorce. Pack your things and leave." I looked around the room, hoping for someone, anyone, to defend me, but all I got were blank stares. Everyone was too shocked to speak. Tears stung my eyes as I ran upstairs, tossing clothes into a bag. As I headed for the door, I could hear Amanda's over-the-top sobs and Mike's soothing voice. "It's okay, sis. We'll get you help. Sarah's gone now." I slammed the door behind me, my entire world collapsing around me. I'd exposed the truth. But somehow, I was the one being punished. As I drove away, it hit me. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of my fight for justice. That night, I crashed at my best friend Lisa's place. When I told her what happened, she was livid. "That manipulative little witch." Lisa fumed. "And Mike? He's out of his mind?" I nodded, still numb. "I know. I can't believe it either." The next morning, I called in sick and met with a divorce lawyer. She listened to my story, shaking her head. "We'll file for divorce on grounds of emotional abuse," she said, "and we'll make sure to highlight Mike's defense of a thief in the household." Over the next few weeks, I buried myself in work. My boss noticed my long hours and stellar presentations, calling me into his office one day. "Sarah, I don't know what sparked this fire in you, but it's impressive. How would you feel about heading up our new digital marketing division?" I nearly cried with relief. "I'd love to, thank you so much." Meanwhile, Karma was busy catching up with Amanda and Mike. Word got around that Amanda's gambling had spiraled out of control, leading to her being caught embezzling from her new job. She was facing serious charges. As for Mike, his defense of Amanda backfired in spectacular fashion. His colleagues were whispering behind his back, and he lost a major case due to his distraction. The firm demoted him to junior partner. About 6 months after the barbecue fiasco, I was signing the lease on my new apartment when my phone buzzed. It was Mike. "Sarah, can we talk?" I made a huge mistake." I laughed bitterly. "You're just realizing that now?" "Please, I want to apologize. Maybe we can work things out." "Not a chance, Mike. I've moved on. Don't contact me again." I hung up, feeling lighter than I had in months. That night, I treated myself to a fancy dinner and even adopted a scruffy little rescue dog I named Justice. A few weeks later, I hosted a housewarming party. Lisa raised her glass for a toast. "To Sarah, the strongest, bravest woman I know. You stood up for yourself and came out on top. We're all so proud of you." Looking around at my true friends in my new home, tears welled up, but this time they were happy tears. Thanks, everyone. You know, when Mike kicked me out, I thought my life was over. But really, it was just beginning. I've learned who my real friends are, and more importantly, I've learned how strong I can be. As the party wound down, Lisa pulled me aside. So, any regrets about exposing Amanda? I paused, then shook my head. Nope. It was tough, but I'd do it all over again. No one has the right to steal from you or make you feel crazy for standing up for yourself. That night, as I curled up in bed with justice at my feet, I realized something important. Sometimes losing everything is the only way to find out what you're really made of. And me? I'm made of tougher stuff than I ever imagined. The story's over, but I want to hear from you. If you were in my shoes, would you have exposed Amanda at the family barbecue or handled it privately? Was public humiliation justified, or did I go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could help someone in a similar situation. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life drama and lessons learned the hard way. Trust me, I've got plenty more stories where this came from. Let's navigate life's craziness together.